Alright, I wasn't going to record this because it's kind of like just my own DIY type of video, but I'm going to do some fiberglass work on this bumper, and I couldn't find any videos on YouTube that is even slightly to what I'm doing. The fiberglass part will be, but the repair I'm having to do, I've got a lot of straightening on this to do. Like this part here had to be straightened, all the dents in there had to be pushed out, and the only way to do it is to heat the plastic up. And it's getting pretty hot because I want it to mould, and that's kind of like straightening out by itself anyway with the heat on it. And a lot of people use hair dryers. I find it easy to use that as well. So what I've done is because I can't get this to hold together on the car, it was all apart and it just doesn't line up exactly how it should, because the person who did this before we got the car did a pretty bad job. That's not genuine. That's a big dent that's been pushed into it, and it kind of looked pretty good actually, but I've straightened it out. I thought for damage that actually looked like it was almost meant to be there, but when you look at the other side doesn't have it, so obviously it doesn't. Now some parts of this don't line up, so I'm just going to take recordings of what I've done here, and hopefully that helps someone else out. So I've used well, this is stainless, but you know, just bits of flat metal to rivet it in, hold it in place. That rivet snapped along there, but it doesn't matter because that's all going to come off. So to get it as straight as possible as I could here, that's what I've done. Now this isn't going to be a fantastic looking bumper when it's finished. There's going to be imperfections, but it's going to look 100% better than what it does now. And it's not going to have part of the bumper dangling around and flapping in the wind when you're driving. So that's that side there. And so I will be fiberglassing from this side. I'm going to get some sandpaper and scruff it all up, fiberglass it all in here. Then I'll get the rivets out. Then I'll use a fiberglass filler on the other side. Not bog. I see people using bog. Bog becomes hard. It's not flexible. I don't know why people use bog on bumpers. Because where the bumper's going to get soft in the heat and so forth in summer, the bog's not going to stay where you put it forever. The bog is not something you want to use on here. It's got to be fiberglass or plastic, something that's going to be able to heat up and be flexible with the bumper. And I've got to straighten this part here up as well. So yeah, there's a bit involved here. So this here was straightening this up right now because this here wasn't lining up, but after applying heat, that's now lining up with, oh sorry, I wasn't showing you the proper part. This here was, well, it was hanging over here, and I applied heat to here because I needed to straighten it out, but as I applied heat, that straightened itself out, and now that there is going to line up. So I will put this back on to check it out, and if it's happy, then this part here will be fiberglassed down onto there as well to reinforce that. And I'm going to have to use tape from the other side to tape over the crack from the other side, so when I apply the resin, it's not just going to drip through and make a big run on the bumper on the other side, and hopefully fill that hole there up. Okay, so I'll just go about my business. I'll record a bit of footage, and like I said, hopefully this will help someone else out and get an idea from it. I'm just using what rough sandpaper I have. This is 260, I think. says G260, I think that's the grade of it, but I'm just using anything rough. This is what I had. This is the stuff that I use. Outdoes JB Weld any day. It's got steel weld. Obviously you can't read all the information there, but it has a higher RPM threshold, higher PSI threshold than JB Weld. So that's why I use this. This is stronger and it's cheaper. Okay, so I'm going to mix some up. This is just to repair this part here, obviously not the whole job, but I need to mask off on the other side just to stop it from running through, and do this small repair job here first. Anyway, that's that bit done. I did it in 2 stages. I did the first part here to line it up, and then the next part over here to line it up. I got the clamp holding that, it's holding it right in line for me, so that's doing the trick there. The extra metal weld I had is in there. I forgot to mention the metal weld also has a higher temperature rate before it melts, and so I've just put masking tape on this side, nothing special, just to stop any runs coming through, and that will hold that in place, so that'll make it easier for using the fiberglass a little bit later. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how to fiberglass. There's a million videos out there on how to fiberglass. I'm new at this myself, so I'm just going to fiberglass it and show you the job after I finish fiberglassing it. Alright, well that's the first part done. You really need to get yourself a box of gloves though, one-time use. And I thought that maybe I could try and save the brush for a reuse to do the other side, but that's why they say it's a one-time use to throw it away, because it doesn't look like it's still soft. And I'm just going to leave it soaking in methylated spirits, but the outcome's not looking so good. It's good. It's all right for cleaning though. Like I clean the cup up all right. Anyway, that's the fiberglass job there, and I'm happy with it. I'm not worried about the rivets being in there, because this side here, that's all going to come off, and it doesn't really matter if the other side of the rivet is still there. There was pockets, so I did have to get the brush and dab at it from the pockets of air that were around the rivets to get all the pockets of air out, but that was alright. And I'm happy with that. I'm not going to have to do any more in there, because that's on the inside of the bumper. And once that's dry, then I'll get to the front of it. So then I'll turn the bumper around, and that's when I really have to be neat about what I'm doing. Sticky stuff. What I didn't know is that methylated spirits goes through those plastic gloves. That kind of surprised me. I thought they were liquid resistant, but they're not liquid resistant against methylated spirits. Probably not against thinners either. So yeah, make sure you get plenty of gloves. And how many times do you think you're going to have to be applying the resin? If you think, like for instance me, I'm going to be doing it twice, and I do have another brush. So the brush was for this side, and then I'm going to be using the brush for the other side, and that should all, I'm going to need 3, so I do have 3 brushes. So that's where I'm at with this part here. No, I didn't show you how I applied it, because there's lots of videos out there, but just want to show you the progress of my work basically. If there's anything that I do differently, I'll mention it. If you're wondering why the rope is here, is because there's a gap here that only closed when the guard was pulled in, and certain spots here would open up, but that's okay. I need this part here closed so the guard takes its proper shape, and that allowed me to fiberglass on the inside of this as well to give this extra supported strength. Alright, so I'm going to leave that today, and I'll do the front of the bumper tomorrow. So I've given her a good sanding with 80 grit sandpaper, and then I cleaned up the surface with wax and grease remover. Now I'm about to put some fiberglass body filler on, which is this stuff here. Like I said before, you don't put the standard filler in because it hardens to a point where if the guard was to flex, the bog won't flex with it. That's what we call it here. Where this stuff here, it's got the fiberglass elements in there. So this stuff here, even though it goes really hard and it's hard to sand, it also flexes. So it's good for bumpers. So I'm going to go over once with this right now, and I've only just gotten back home, so not a lot of time to do anything. But I want to get the first part started. So I'm going to apply this into all the areas that needs it the most, and that's going to let rest to dry overnight, and tomorrow I'll be able to get into it. The day after, actually. It's Mother's Day tomorrow, so the day after tomorrow I'll be able to get into it and get into all the corners where it's going to need a lot more attention than just filling in these bigger areas. Alright, so that's, I'll call that stage one in this part of the process. I've gotten all the filler on in that direction, and so when I get back to it next time, I'm going to be filling in this direction, and hopefully that's going to smooth out all the holes and stuff, because there's marks going that way, there's marks going that way and everything, and can't really get a smooth surface on it. And that stuff's not the easiest stuff to work with either. It's not like your standard body filler. Oh, I can show you what I mean. It's not like this stuff, which dries completely different. This stuff's hard to work with, but it's worth it. It's really strong when it's finished. So yeah, I've just gotten my finger in there and just smoothed out the bit that fell into there. Pretty much that's all I can do until that's dry. Sand it all down, and if I wanted to, I could say that's a repair. That's strong. That's pretty much ready to go back on the car. Just sand it back and give it a paint job. Won't be the prettiest looking job, but if you really wanted to and the car meant nothing to you, that could be the end of the job there. Just sand it and paint it and you're done. However, I'm not going to stop here. I want it to be as much to the original look as possible, and I could stop the video here as well, but I know there's people out there like me that like to see a finished product as well. So try not to talk too much and get on with it. The next part will be after I've sanded it. I'll record what it looks like after I've sanded it, and then when I've gone over it again. And from this point on, until I get to the job finished, I'll just take videos of like this, just to show you. There's not a lot of explanation to go in between. I'm not teaching you how to do this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and hopefully seeing what I'm doing helps others. So that's the fiberglass filler. I'm going to go over the top of that now with fiberglass. Okay, so that's the fiberglass all over it. Like I said before, this isn't a video about teaching you. This is my first experience of fiberglassing myself. So there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. Anyhow, I'm now happier, more confident that this is going to be a nice strong job when it's finished, and nothing's going to become a problem over here again. It's probably going to be stronger than, say, the guard, because fiberglass on the other side, fiberglass filler, fiberglass on the outside, she's a strong repair. And so I've now got to let that dry, and being that the temperature today is only 21 degrees, it's going to take a while, so that's going to be a progress to continue that tomorrow. And yeah, so now it's just basically sanding it back, using the spray putty. It's around there somewhere. Anyway, it's like an undercoat spray putty. So sand it back till I got it to pretty much nice and smooth, anywhere there might be a little hole, whatever, the spray putty will fix that up. Run it over again, and then I'll be taking this whole bumper bar off, so I can sand the entire thing back and paint the entire thing. So this will be the last video for this part of what I'm doing for the repair, and I'll just record the final step when it's finished and show you a couple of slide shots of before and after the repair. I'd like to just have a chat in between what I just did then and the next part. I noticed that I get more likes than I do than dislikes on videos, but with the dislikes, can you just maybe mention why you disliked it? I'd like the opportunity, and I'm sure that other YouTubers out there as well feel the same way. If you're going to dislike something, say why. If you have a better video explaining the same job, I don't care if you share it in my comments. This is all about helping people, and well, to be honest, the real reason why I make these videos, or part of, is for my kids. So this is more for my kids to look back on as well, and but it's educational, you know, showing people what I know. As my kids grow up, they'll watch my videos and they will learn what I know, hopefully. And yeah, so just give me the opportunity to respond if there's something in the video that wasn't quite right, or something in the video that you'd like to know more about, and I didn't show enough detail about it. Let me know in the comments so I can respond to it, perhaps make another video on that particular part so I can show more detail. If there's something that I haven't covered, yeah, let me know. It's all about, you know, helping others. Yeah, I don't pester people to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, don't. Would love you to. That'd be awesome. Thumbs up is awesome too. But you know, just saying, if you've got something that you don't like, let me know that you don't like it, and I know, okay, that part of the video maybe I should have made more info about it. I could make another video to follow up on that particular part. And if there's other stuff that you want to know about, and I get the opportunity, like just make a comment. I'd love to know more about this, I'd love to know more about that, and the next time I work on that car, or if I don't actually have that car to work on yet, but later on down the track I will, then I'll know, okay, I was asked this question before, and I know to cover it. Yeah, so to everybody who has subscribed, love yous, awesome, thank you. Thank you for viewing my video. Thank you for taking the time to actually listen to me right now, if you've done that. And yeah, I'll leave it as that. Take care, be safe, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the clip. Well, that's all back together now. Just wanted to show you, it didn't turn out too bad, but I want to share a bit of what I found with fiberglassing on the outside. Was, you see these little craters that's come about? That's the fiberglass breathing. When I was spraying, I put so many coats of spray putty over that, sanded it, sprayed it, sanded it, sprayed it. When I started running out of spray putty, that's when these little holes started filling up, and the fiberglass stopped pushing all that paint back out and leaving all these little holes. but I could have gone and got another more paint for more undercoat for that and kept going, but I was like, I'm not going to spend any more money on this. The car is not, like you can see the guard there, the car is not a brand new car, and that's kind of looks like stone chips anyway, so it's not too bad. Other than that, the headlights are sprayed with clear. I was going to rub it back and give it a polish, but I figured I'll wait for them to yellow up or whatever happens in the future, and when the family brings it back to me, that's when I'll give it a sand and polish. But for now, that's perfectly fine the way it is. So that's where I finish this video. If this was educational to anyone, got some pointers from it, great. Give us a thumbs up, and yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Cheers.